Good morning from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. When I first arrived in Toronto, I was very pleasantly surprised to find that the city is completely full of street art. So, as promised, in this video I'm gonna take a walk around the city, just wander a little bit aimlessly and see what kind of street art I can find. I know this isn't gonna be overly difficult because I've been seeing it just everywhere on the streets. Pretty much every block has at least one mural, some of them huge, some of them small. I've seen a lot of very interesting murals so far. In addition, I have noticed on Google Maps that there's an area called Graffiti Alley. So that sounds exactly like what I'm gonna wanna check out. I'm gonna meander through the streets and end up at Graffiti Alley. It's Porco Rosso. come to the area known as Graffiti Alley, and well, it is certainly well named. Wow, this just keeps going. I'm noticing an abundance of raccoons depicted in the street art in Toronto. I wonder why. I'm gonna talk about a little bit of the terminology when it comes to street art. There are three very important terms that I use when I'm talking about street art, and the first one is, of course, street art. Street art is the term used to describe any art that's visible from a public space. So that can be sculpture, mosaic, paintings, spray paints, like anything. It's all street art. The second term is tags. Tags are the signatures of street artists. They're pseudonyms, and they can range from very simple to quite elaborate. and you'll see tagging pretty much everywhere in the world. It is on many, many bridges, buildings, alleyways. That's where you're gonna find tags. More on tags in a second. The third term is graffiti. Now, graffiti is any type of street art that is put there illegally and without permission, therefore vandalism. I think what a lot of people get confused is that they think tags are graffiti. Now, they are graffiti. They are put there illegally against the wishes of the building owner's permission. But it's also accurate to say if someone went to the back alley of a building and painted a beautiful mural of a flower or something pretty, that is also graffiti. Essentially, graffiti is just something that's put there illegally, no matter how pretty it is. That being said, a lot of times the business owners or the building owners in general appreciate the graffiti on their building. Sometimes it was just an ugly old wall, and now it is a beautiful mural that could even attract people to their business, as the case with Banksy or Rat or Invader. These have been known to actually draw people to their business, and they could even sell it or whatever. Some people actually like graffiti, but I think what people get confused about is tagging. I have yet to meet someone who enjoys the sight of tagging. I am aware that there's a whole world of people who can tell you the intricacies of tagging and the skill that's behind it. At this point, I don't really understand it, and I don't love looking at it, so I never really focused on it in these videos, although I do intend to learn about it at some stage. A really important thing to consider when looking at street art is it put there illegally or was it commissioned? Because you can really tell a lot about the artwork if you know it's graffiti and if you know it's a commercial piece. Because usually if it's a commercial piece, it is borderline an advertisements for something. It is a company that is putting it up for a purpose. They're usually trying to draw tourists to an area. Street art that's put there illegally is different. The person's not getting paid for it. They don't have their name to it. They're only putting the art up because they want to put the art up. So that has an entirely different meaning around what they choose to depict and in the manner that they depict it. You can usually tell a lot about the social climate of a place by its graffiti. So that's particularly interesting to me. I like looking at murals that are technically graffiti. So it's a bit of a controversial topic, I suppose, because it is vandalism. It's not allowed to be there, and it's a crime. And I'm not saying that commissioned murals or anything wrong with it, not at all. I love looking at it. Some of the most beautiful murals I've ever seen have been commissioned artwork. So I love it all. They just have very different meanings. The world of street art is so intricate if you can understand the differences between these things. Speaking of Banksy, there are 2 Banksy pieces in Toronto. There actually used to be 7, but apparently only 2 of them remain. I've never actually seen one in real life, so this is super exciting. I just happened to see it on Google Maps again. So thank you, Google Maps, because this is my last day here, and I wouldn't have known otherwise. So I'm almost there. I'm just gonna turn the corner and find the first Banksy I've ever seen. So this is a great example of graffiti that the owners of this building happen to love. So they have framed it and protected it. So no one will steal it or deface it or anything. Still graffiti, still vandalism, but everyone loves it. I've definitely never seen a fountain like this. That is so cute. Oh, there's a cat over here. Oh my gosh, this is so awesome. This one is neat. It's actually hard to see where the art starts and reality begins. It's like a 3D thing, but also those are real windows. Actually, the ones in the middle are real windows. Cool. Oh my goodness, I had no idea it was inside like this. Wow, that's a good one. So this is how it originally looked. So it says here that the building that it was installed on, the headquarters for the Ontario Provincial Police, was demolished in 2011. So this was painted in May 2010. He probably knew it was going to be demolished, but that is why it was saved and preserved in this way. Otherwise, it would probably still be on the wall where it was originally painted. As fascinating as this is definitely not the context that Banksy wanted this in. So like I had mentioned earlier, this is my last day in Toronto. And oh my goodness, I have been so happy with my week here. I've been really surprised with how much I've loved the city. I think I mentioned a couple times before that I wasn't really expecting to love it. I just thought it was going to be something like a concrete jungle. But from what I've seen just in the downtown area, there's a ton of stuff to do, great architecture, great history, and an abundance of street art, which I was not expecting. So obviously I'm gonna love that. The amount of street art that I have found here was really overwhelming. In addition to the 2 Banksy pieces. I've never seen Banksy before, so that was such a treat. I loved my time here in Toronto, and I feel like I'm gonna have to come back and spend some time and explore the greater Toronto area. I want to go up the CN Tower, I want to see Niagara Falls, I want to do all the big things again, so I will definitely be back here.